everybody, welcome to 54 Nights. This is our second installment of the Trail to Road series, where we talk about our preparation for retirement and hitting the road after retirement. And in this episode, we're going to talk about our new retirement home. You know,
hi.
I
always hoped a handsome man would like lean in my window someday.
There
Wow.
you go. So I've given Fleetwood a hard time, and honestly, we've put close to 10,000 miles a year on this coach since we've owned it, and we've had it for about 5 years. We've put more use on this coach than an average camper would.
And indoor use too, because even in the winter we camp. So when it's too cold or too rainy, we're inside.
Yeah.
So we're putting wear and tear on.
So, you know, I got to cut it a little bit of slack.
Don't fall.
Fall?
Don't fall.
Oh! Okay, I had to change my shirt for, you know, it's not the first, it's probably not the last time that she's pushed me off of a high perch. But anyway, as I was saying before she shoved me off the ladder,
got the blood off.
You know, the Fleetwood, our Fleetwood, honestly, we've put it through a lot, and it has held up really well considering what we've put it through. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, it's not on the top of our list for our future retirement home.
Right.
What we want to do, and what happens are two different stories, but we won't go there. What we would like to do.
If you've been watching us long enough, you already know that.
Yes. What we would like to do is upgrade, or not necessarily upgrade, it would be an upgrade because it's newer, but update our motorhome. Like I said, we've put close to 10,000 miles on it every year we've had it. Mm-hmm. It's still good. I mean, if we're stuck with it, okay, you know what? We've got some work that we need to do to it, but...
I just heard a fish jump.
Yeah, but it's all good. But what we would prefer to do is replace it. And we have on our list of replacements is... Our number one choice is Tiffin, the 33 AA, right?
Right.
And then we have the Winnebago 34T.
I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then
a new one. But we're back to
the Fleetwood. Fleetwood diesel Frontier 34 GT.
Okay.
34 GT. It's a 35-foot coach.
I guess they were introduced in 2022.
Yeah, they replaced the Pace Aero line. From what I can tell, they replaced the Pace Aero line. But all three of them have their pluses and minuses. And we were able to spend some time at our local dealership comparing the Tiffin and the Winnebago side by side. Tiffin wins. I mean, the Tiffin wins out of all three of them. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be disappointed with any of them, I don't think. They all three check boxes, and all three have a shortcoming here and there. The Fleetwood, for one, is you've got like this much space when the coach is folded up. You've got like this much space to walk front to back.
Which you would think that's not a big deal, but a lot of times, and I don't know if you do, but we like to try to stay at a truck stop or something for the evening. And when you stay at a truck stop, you don't open it up.
Yeah.
And so you're talking going to bed, getting up and getting a drink, going back to bed, and you know,
walking sideways.
Yeah, and hoping the dogs don't get under your feet while you're doing it.
But I mean, that's not a big thing. It's not a major thing.
Nothing is major on any of them.
No, that's right. That's. And then the Winnebago, it's got some really just mainly cosmetic issues. You look at it and you think, why did you paint the steps that color when the rest of the coach is this color? we're looking at all three of them, and we want the Tiffin.
We've
now,
always wanted the Tiffin.
Yeah.
For how many years?
Yeah, exactly. It's like
since before we had a Class A, we've wanted the Tiffin.
We've liked this
red.
Tiffin floor plan, 33 red, 33 AA. We like it. The length and the layout.
The opposing sides.
Yeah, it checks all the boxes for us.
Again, almost all.
Yeah.
There's always
so
all the important things. Yeah.
With that being said, we just come back from the Dallas. I can't remember what the name of the RV show was, but it's their.
Used to be the super crazy big, just you could be there for hours and hours RV show, but now it costs just as much. And
costs just as much, and there's not as many there. And part of it is just because the inventories are low around the nation. But
where they used to park campers is now where you park your car.
Yeah. But we looked at a 33 AA, and it was
kind of a gut punch, really.
Oh, it was bad disappointing. I mean,
when you consider that's what we were pretty much down to, and rah, and we read all about it, and yeah, this is so cool, and then it was like, oh.
Yeah. The bathroom door, there was, and I'll put some video here of it showing, there was an inch to an inch and a half gap between the door and the door frame. I mean, the door did not close. As a matter of fact, it would open both ways, tearing things up in the process, of course.
And my biggest thing is they brought it to the show like this.
Yes.
This was like, look at this product. Isn't this, wait, what? I mean.
But like another customer that was in there with us, he's like, it left the factory like this.
Right.
I mean, this is big.
And it was signed by Mr. Tiffin.
That is really probably the most disappointing part of this thing. We're talking to a salesman from Vought RV, which, by the way, before you go typing down below, I know people have already told me in comments on previous videos, through emails, never buy from Vought RV. I understand that, and I'm not going to, because enough people have told me don't do it. I get it, and now I see it, because Vought brought that motorhome to the RV show. It was not show ready. This motorhome was not ready to be set out on the lot.
So many things. That was the worst. That was the most obvious.
Was the worst.
Yeah.
There was, the center console was falling apart where the USB cord thing was supposed to be. It had fallen out. One of the recliners wasn't operating. The electronics worked midstream.
You have to pause it.
Emergency phone call from the daughter, sorry. We were talking about
the MCD shades on the front and on above the couch were also really badly
weren't mounted properly.
Right.
Were falling down. But anyway, I was talking about Vought RV. This salesman, when we asked something about the door, oh, that can be adjusted. I'm not a professional carpenter by any stretch of the imagination. I do come from a long line of woodworking folk. There's no adjustment in the world that can make a door that is too small for the frame fit. I'm sorry.
Well, you said you're gonna put the video in there.
You do not get a gap that big. That
somebody went a little crazy on the sanding on that doors.
But yeah, I mean, she's right. The most disappointing part of it was when we were talking to this salesman, and she says, you know, I just can't believe that this could be a motorhome that Bob Tiffin would sign off on. I said, yeah, really? And I reached up and opened the cabinet door, and you guys know which cabinet door I'm talking about. If you've watched enough videos on Tiffin's, you know exactly which cabinet door I'm talking about. I opened up that cabinet door, and there it is, the signature.
Bob and Judy, or whatever, I don't know their first names, but the
yeah,
owner of, or the former owner of Tiffin, that's supposedly still very involved in.
Very involved. The salesman had been to the factory and nothing had changed since Thor bought him out. I'm sorry.
We've been to a lot of shows and dealerships, and we've never seen a Tiffin product.
Never, ever seen a Tiffin this poorly built.
And, okay, you could say, well, you know, they send bad stuff, and the dealership should figure this out, should notice it and get it fixed. But guess who was at that show?
Yeah, there was a Tiffin rep at the show.
Jerry or Jeremy, I can't remember which
but
one
they
it was.
couldn't find him. Well, the salesman, after we were talking to him, because I mean, this is disappointing. We're thinking about purchasing a Tiffin. This is the very model that we're considering purchasing.
I wanted to hear what this guy said, because I mean, I wanted him to talk me back into this product.
Yeah, please talk us back into buying a Tiffin.
So the guy asked, he said, there's a Tiffin representative here, would you like to talk to him? I said, yeah, I actually would like to talk to him. And he left.
Yeah,
to go get Jerry or Jeremy.
Never came back.
We waited.
We could have took a nap, had a sandwich, drunk a cup of coffee, watched a football game. He didn't come back. He wasn't coming back. He took off running with his tail between his legs. So Vought RV.
That's our experience. Let's just leave it at that. That's our experience.
Yep. So we still would like to get a Tiffin.
I still wish we could have talked to that rep, but I don't know how a rep either could have let that product go to this. I mean, I think a rep, I was a vendor for many, many years, and the company you work for, you're supposed to notice things like that, and you're supposed to fix it so that the public doesn't see it, because everybody's going to make mistakes.
Yeah. I don't like to be one to jump on the whole, well, Thor bought them, so they're going downhill.
Although that's what that customer that was in there said.
That's exactly what the customer said to us, and the salesman tried to explain that no, that's not what's going on here. But I mean, what you see and what you hear, two different things. What we saw was a post Thor Tiffin that looked like the Thor products we've grown used to seeing over the years. It
was rough, because I was super excited. I thought we had found our camper, and I mean, we may have. I don't know.
We may be a day late and $1 short on this one. I don't know. I mean, the Tiffins that McLean's had here in Oklahoma looked great. Looked exactly what we're used to seeing when it comes to Tiffin.
And they were the same year. They were 2023s.
Yeah, so we may be just on the bleeding edge of, the
quality.
Thor synergies coming into play with Tiffin. Hey, hold that camera steady.
You don't drive steady.
Hey, so that portion of the video was recorded back in September, obviously before a football game, since we were all dressed in the proper colors. And now it's like 2 weeks from pulling the trigger on buying a new motorhome. I'll cover the reason for the delay and some other video, I'm sure, and a lot of it has to do with waiting for her to do her hair.
Oh, trying to find the video. Yeah, I wasn't doing my hair. What was I doing? I don't remember.
Anyway, so we're about 2 weeks away from pulling the trigger, and a couple of things I noticed that we didn't cover back in September.
Oh, their penguin went flying. Christmas decorations.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
Our choice of motorhome has been, it's a diesel. I mean, that's what we've narrowed it down to.
We've never gone back, have we? That's the one, that's weird for us.
Well, I think probably the main reason is if we're not going to get a diesel.
Why do it?
Exactly. We're not, there's not much of a point yet to replace what we have, other than, you know, fresher, newer, cuter. I don't know.
Hey, are you talking about the rig or me?
Anyway, what we were talking about. Really kind of the main reason we're looking at diesel is to haul the motorcycle around. I don't know about her, I can't really speak for her, but I've kind of gotten attached to cruising around on that motorcycle in some of these scenic places.
Having it hail on us and
sleet.
Oh,
little
yeah.
difference.
Right, that's true. Having it, it's like having it little teeny tiny hail on us in on Trail Ridge Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, we wouldn't mind upgrading to a newer gas model if we were gonna get a gas coach. But again,
oh, I just lost an ear. My ear fell off. Okay.
This is what I have to deal with. Again, I mean, if we're gonna go with the gas coach, why spend the money? You know, just keep cruising around that old Fleetwood.
And this isn't a new thing to us, because we kind of came to this epiphany when we were talking about upgrading our hybrid. Okay, I'm gonna give up on my. These weren't real ears. I know y'all are surprised, but they weren't. They came out off their. You know, they're just temporary. The hybrid, we were thinking about getting something else, and then we were like, well, do we move up a little bit? I mean, why? What's the purpose?
Yep.
You know, why not just wait until we're ready to actually make a big upgrade?
So here we sit 2 weeks away from.
By the way, we went from that to the Class A.
Yeah, right. Here we sit 2 weeks away from purchasing a new motorhome. Now, I say that lightly because Terry and I also have a history of going to buy a big ticket item and then deciding, you know, we can wait. I mean, when we're there to buy it, and then just like, yeah, you know, we can wait.
Oh, I'm sure you guys have a hard time with that too.
It's you know, you can spend the money all you want to on the couch, but
yeah,
when you get
nice,
it to go
nice
do
new
it.
refrigerator.
So the dealership.
Oh, on the couch while you're sitting on the couch. I see. I thought you meant on a couch. Like that's not a big deal compared to an RV. Yeah. All right, move on. We are. Look at us. Wow. I wonder if it'll look better than this when you.
All right. I'll try to edit some appearance in there.
Okay.
So.
Good thing we're in a Jeep.
Maybe I'll get around over here where we could put a little light on the subject, maybe.
No, that wasn't it.
That wasn't it. Oh no, it's
getting better.
It's
yeah.
adjusting better.
Okay.
Okay. So the dealership here in Oklahoma still has the same two coaches that we looked at. End of
you
last
remember
summer.
the ones that were side by side?
Yeah,
that we were talking to
the
you?
Forza and the.
They were literally side by side.
Yep. They still have them. So here we are 5 months later, 4 months, whatever it is. I can't count. That's why they're getting rid of me. They still have those two. Those two are still
waiting for us.
The top of our list. We did go and look at a Fleetwood. Not the 34 GT, which is the type that we like, but we went and looked at
Seek the
a Frontier.
Yeah.
You know, same model, just same brand, just different model.
And we liked it.
Yes, we did. We actually
surprising.
And here's the brutal honesty. If we're comparing a 2024 Tiffin that we saw at the Dallas RV show, which we've talked about in this video, to the 2024 Fleetwood Frontier that we saw at the dealership that was in the process of getting prepped.
It had been arrived. It arrived that day, I think. Yeah, they had, the bugs were still in the wind.
If we were comparing the two, the Fleetwood was the better built coach.
That's sad, guys.
And that's just honest opinion. Just looking at them as they sit, not taking them out and using them or whatever. Just the way they sit. So,
and we weren't expecting that, so it's not like we went in there with the attitude, "Oh, Tiffin's gone downhill since they were purchased."
No,
by.
we still we are still Tiffin fanboys.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to own up to
what we saw.
Yeah, it's so the situation at the Oklahoma dealership, the Winnebago and the Tiffin still there. One thing that is, there's a $70,000 difference between the two coaches, and we are having a very, very big problem justifying $70,000.
I want to justify it.
Please.
I want the Tiffin that they have there on the lot. I want it so bad. That's the one I want. That's the rig I want.
But we're
I think
talking,
it's so much prettier.
Yeah, but the price difference. I mean, $70,000. That is more than what this Jeep Wrangler cost, and these Jeep Wranglers are not cheap. You know, more than a brand new vehicle, car, truck, probably about the same price as an F-150. That's the price difference between the Winnebago and the Tiffin.
And the price difference is twice as much as we paid for our house.
Pretty close to it, guys. That tells you how old she is. So we really, really want to justify that 70 grand, but it is, I don't know that we can. I mean, in reality, I don't know that we can justify that. I mean, if we end up getting it, I'm going to tell you right now, it's because we're being dumb about it. And we've been known.
I want to be dumb. I want to be dumb so bad. I've even thought, okay, where else can we get money? Are we forgetting something? Are we, to make it easier? I mean, to make it easier to do it,
But that's where we're at. It's going to be, if they're still there in 2 weeks, we're 2 weeks away from pulling the trigger. So if they're still there in 2 weeks.
Oh, what if the Forza's gone?
See there, we just got dumber.
I can feel the brain cells falling out my ears.
It's like our kids turned 18 all over again.
Did you know when our kids all left the house, we added on to our house? Because there were now 2 of us instead of 5 of us.
So
that's who you're talking to. Or listening to. You're listening.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with the diesel coach. If we end up not getting it, like I said towards the beginning of this video, then we end up not getting it. We still got that. The Fleetwood that we have is still a darn good coach. We have put it through its paces over the years. So yes, next time around, let me look so I'm not lying to you, but next time around when we're talking about this road to trail to road series, we're going to talk about pretty much our travel plans, our lifestyle, I guess is probably the best way to put it, our lifestyle plans, and campground memberships that might be involved in those in those plans. There's a lot going into it. I'm retiring. I'm walking away from a very, very good paycheck. But she still has to keep an eye on the grandkid, and she's doing twice the duty by tutoring or homeschooling. So Anyway, that's what's coming up next time around. We will catch y'all down the trail.